Go.
Hi, everybody. I am here to talk to you about the cardamom oil, the beautiful little green seeds. Okay, so let me just give you a little overview of what cardamom is about. So cardamom is in the ginger family, and it is steam distilled. Steam distilled. The seeds are steam distilled. So the cardamom pod is like a little lime green pod, and it's full of these little brown seeds, and that's what's distilled. And it's mainly known for its gastrointestinal and respiratory health qualities, as well as cooking and baking, especially in the Indian community. But everyone loves it, or many people love it. And it it has the aromatic qualities of being really spicy and fruity and warm, sort of balsamic, I read, which I think is a really accurate and kind of fun description. But it also has like a really cool and minty sort of quality. And so it's super complex and really unique. And the main chemical components are things that I can't really just pronounce very well, but I'm going to try my best. Terpenyl acetate and linolyl acetate and sabine or something like that. The chemists are probably just like turning over in their graves right now. And linalool is another thing. But cardamom is especially rich in phytonutrients. Particularly in manganese, which helps the body form connective tissue, and also really focuses on bones and the sex hormones also. So that's kind of a cool little thing. And a fun fact, its nickname is not by me this time, but by other people. It is the Queen of Spices. So I can just see the little pod with the little queen's crown on. It's kinda, yeah, exactly. So cardamom is a really interesting oil. It has, lots of the same qualities as many essential oils. It's antiseptic, it's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and it also has qualities of being antispasmodic. So particularly in the muscles. So it's really good for like muscle cramps and or like if you pull a muscle or pull something like when you're exercising or whenever that might happen in the middle of the night. But also kind of thinking about the respiratory system. So it's really good for to promote clear breathing, and and thinking through the antispasmodic sort of vein, asthma, congestion. It's a expectorant, like I said, so it sort of works on congestion and coughs. And then it also has really strong digestive qualities, and I think it really supports the digestive system. Indigestion. It's also a diuretic, and so probably not eating too much of this oil would probably be good for you. But if you're looking for a cleansing oil, this is really good. It also has a warming quality, so it heats up the body, which is really good for clearing the congestion and the coughs. So you're sort of like seeing how it actually works. And it promotes sweating, which is really good if you're dealing with a cold and you just really need to relieve symptoms from that. It also works on headaches and illnesses like diarrhea, because it sort of like works through the body to warm it. Some additional uses are, this is kind of a fun list. It promotes mental clarity and openness. So particularly for anger and frustration. One tip I read was if you're wanting to focus on something or have measurable results, you can put it in different parts of the room, diffusing it, in the room, or even just dropping drops in the corner of the room. I mean, I'm not sure exactly why, but that was one of the things I read. They're just kind of fun to maybe try. It's also an aphrodisiac, and it helps with bad breath, which is probably a good combo. And it has been proven to help with nausea as well. Historically, people have used it for epilepsy, which kind of works with the antispasmodic, realm, paralysis, cardiac disorders, pulmonary disease, which that makes sense with those respiratory results. Fever, also, again, warming the body, all of doing that. Digestive and urinary complaints. And then neutralizing lingering garlic scents, which is back to the bad breath. But garlic is really good for you too. So it's probably they're often found together in food. And then they're showing a lot of promise in areas of loss of appetite, sciatica, stomach ulcers, easing symptoms of menstruation or menopause, cancer, diabetes. This is not proven, but it's showing there's a lot of studies around this. So cancer, diabetes, lowering blood pressure, cavities or toothaches. And I think I sort of mentioned the aromatic qualities or influence, but it's really uplifting, it's really refreshing and invigorating, and it clears confusion, which that's amazing. So you can use it topically, aromatically, or internally, and you can, massage it on your reflex points, or you directly on your body parts, wherever you're thinking that you might find the most benefit. You could dilute it or use it neat. It's depending on what kind of skin sensitivity you have normally, or just your preference. You can also use it as a bath oil, and that has a really interesting, so you'll probably just discover new things as your new scents as you're laying there for however long you take your bath. You can also inhale it directly or diffuse it in your diffuser. Internally, you can just place it 1 drop under your tongue, or mix in some honey or 4 ounces of liquid. And then I also, mentioned it's really common in baking or cooking. So some fun little blends or recipes that I found. One was a spiced chai latte diffuser blend. So this would be really fun in the winter. You're really wanting that, but maybe you're not. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. You're not drinking a lot of caffeine. This could be a fun alternative. So you drop 3 drops of cardamom, 2 cinnamon, 1 clove, and 3 cardamom, 2 cinnamon, 2 clove, and 1 ginger. So I haven't tried this, but it sounds very fun, and I think it would be really interesting. Another one that I thought was a nice way to, a sort of more creative way to use it is through bath salt. So you can combine 2 cups of Himalayan pink salt, and which have a lot of healing qualities in themselves, 6 drops of cardamom, and 4 drops of lavender. And then you just mix it in a mason jar. Make sure it's glass though. Don't use a plastic jar. And then just, spoon in how much ever you want in your bath. Of course, if you didn't want to use 2 cups, you can always, just kind of reduce. Maybe that's too much for you to try the first time around. And then this one, this doesn't really apply to me, clearly, but the next one is kind of fun if you have someone in your life who has a beard. This is a conditioning beard oil, which I just couldn't resist. I had to share this. My brother-in-law has this huge bushy beard, so I'm excited to share this with my sister. So it's argan oil, 15 milliliters of argan oil, 15 milliliters of jojoba. You could probably use different oils, but I think these are probably good for conditioning hair. 4 drops of cardamom, 7 drops of sandalwood, 4 drops of grapefruit, and then 3 drops of bergamot. So just you mix it all together. It's kind of a fun little.
Would you mind saying what the drops were again? You said
of course.
Cardamom, 7 drops.
Sandalwood. 4 grapefruit, and 3 bergamot. So that's it might work for your hair too. I don't know. I have no idea. Probably beard hair is sort of more coarse though. So, and then you can always add it to bread, or even smoothies would be really interesting, meats or salads. And all of that is, remember, aiding in your digestion. So just make sure you're adding the amount of drops you want. And then I always like to add a little, a pairing guide. So cardamom often pairs with, or pairs well with, bergamot, cedarwood, cinnamon, clove. This is the latte. Wild orange, rose, and ylang ylang. And apparently also lavender is a good combo, because we already mentioned that. But and then the only other thing I wanted to mention was the doTERRA really guides that you don't use cardamom oil on anyone under 6. So, and then just use it more cautiously, or maybe more diluted with children who are over 6. Other than that, like, use away. And I also wanted to share, on doTERRA's website, there's a really fun sourcing video that shows doTERRA interacting with farmers in Guatemala, and it's very cool. So you can find that on the website. It's a YouTube video. So that's cardamom in a nutshell, or a little green pod.
Oh, well done, Billie. That was so interesting. I have to say, I do have one personal experience with cardamom, especially with the warming quality of it.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting with a prospective enrollee, and I love the smell of cardamom, and I put 2 drops on my wrist just because I wanted to wear it as a perfume.
Right.
And my entire body got hot. So much to the point I had to take my sweater off, because I was just like, oh my God. But it was like instantaneous. And I haven't had that experience with any other oil, which is instant heat response to my body.
Right.
And also,
so that's great.
Yeah. So that's right there. For anybody who deals with low body temperatures or like cold extremities, that's really good. The other thing is, and especially for people of Swedish origin or ancestry, the Swedes put cardamom in their coffee.
Oh, yes, of course.
Try just a drop of cardamom oil in your morning coffee. It is spectacular.
That sounds
spectacular.
Delicious.
Yeah, I mean, even I would go as far. I've seen a couple videos on the doTERRA website talking about people who are wanting to give up dairy and include a drop of cinnamon into their black coffee. And I wouldn't be surprised if 1 drop of cinnamon, 1 drop of cardamom, that would turn coffee into a whole different experience. In fact, I may try that after this call.
That sounds amazing. Amazing.
But this is brilliant, Billie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. I mean, Mauro's on mute right now, so I don't know if he has any questions or not. But just thank you. That was so interesting.
Of course. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Mm-hmm. Enjoy using.
Yeah, for sure. Mauro, do you have any questions for Billie before I stop recording?
No, I'm good. Yeah. Thank you
for
the presentation. I like it.
Well, thank you so much, Billie. Brava.
Thanks.